Hi friendlings, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a bit of an update on an overall kind of where I am. I realised I haven't done an update since week 20. I'm now 26 weeks and 3 days, something like that. I kind of thought I would also cover the last 6 weeks as well, because a lot has happened in that time that I haven't kind of spoken to you guys about, and I think there's a lot of things in there that people won't really think about too much when that kind of transition. Now, from week 20 through to now has been an absolute breeze. I'm not gonna lie, I've forgotten I was pregnant. It's been really like comfortable. Like second trimester has been amazing, because now I'm week 26, I'm now in the third trimester, if you guys don't know how that works. So from week 20 to 26 has been actually really nice. The only thing that I have realised since then is small things that I thought that I would kind of go through with you guys. So I've written myself a nice little list, and I thought I would kind of go through each one with you, just so you know where I'm kind of at and how I'm feeling and things like that. So the first one I'm going to cover is something that has hit me a lot in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And that is shortness of breath. If I talk too fast, if I walk upstairs, if I walk downstairs, if I do anything kind of exerted too quickly, I have to kind of take a minute, take a deep breath, and that is kind of hard for me. Not in the bad sense, because it's not, you know, it's not a massive thing. Like you can take a moment out and, you know, get your breath back and things like that. But I've had panic attacks in the past where it's all to do with my breathing. So when I've been shortness of breath, it's kind of something mentally for me to try and get my head around, that it's not something I need to worry about. It's just because of baby Bean being so high up, and obviously she's putting a lot of pressure on my other organs. So it's, in that respect, I think it's quite nice to talk about, mainly because it means that I can be completely honest with you guys, and if anybody else is kind of going through the same thing, it's nice to kind of, you know, share that with the world. I am on inhalers as well, so I've been using those a lot more. I've always been asthmatic, but I've had like a baby asthma for a long time, and it's only come up kind of when I've been stressed or panicked or things like that. But recently, in the last 2 weeks, I've been using it a lot more, so it kind of helps me just kind of relax and have a bit more breath and just everything like that. So if you guys are getting shortness of breath, that's completely normal. Obviously your midwives will tell you this anyway, but I think it's quite nice to know that you're not the only one out there, and it's quite nice for me as well to know that I'm not the only one. So that's a big thing at the moment, especially being 26 weeks and I'm getting bigger and bigger now. And obviously it's only going to get, not worse, but I'm only going to feel it more. So that's definitely one of the things that has definitely changed since 20 weeks. Funnily, I got my first stretch mark. Now, people will say that the creams don't work, and I remember talking to you guys about this before, but I was kind of using the creams that I have every so often, and I wasn't using them regimented. Believe you me, I now am. And funny enough, the place that I got the stretch mark was not on my belly that has, you know, ballooned from what size I was. It's actually my boobs that have also ballooned, but it's actually the under boob. There is like 1 or 2 under there, so I really do need to start like moisturising more. I'm not the greatest person with moisturising. I don't know whether I'm the only one, but it's so boring to put on. I just can't be bothered. So I'm trying to do that more, because I have got very dry skin on my face, so I'm trying to use more moisture masks and things like that. So I think it's all connected. So I've been doing that a lot more recently, and I'm hoping that will kind of help and I won't get as many more stretch marks. Not that it's the end of the world anyway, I'm not really bothered. And to be fair, like, it's hidden under the boob anyway, so I don't know many people who, you know, walk around showing off their under boob. On a more positive note, going on to another thing that's been happening, I've actually been sleeping really well, which I don't know. I think it might be the pregnancy pillow that I got, which I can't thank my dad for. It was probably the best thing ever. Since then, probably since getting that pillow, which was around week 20, I think. So the last 6 weeks have been heaven. I've been sleeping so much better. Bless Ollie, he had a really bad night's sleep last night, and I didn't even hear him like tossing or turning or being awake or getting up and things like that. So I think it's really, really helping sleep. If anybody else out there is struggling with sleep, pregnancy pillow that goes all the way around and down like past your hips, that's definitely something that will help. Resting the bump on the pillow, just like the small things. Although I do struggle from turning from side to side, that's definitely something. Off that, I have realised as well, I've been getting a lot of hip pain, which it's just like when you lay on that side for a long time, then there's a lot of pressure. I've been getting knee pain as well. I think it's the extra weight, because I've put on a stone and 10 pounds, I think that's what I'm up to, which everybody's different, I know that. And reading Giovanna Fletcher's book, she's even said in there that somebody that she knew or someone that she knew of only put 6 pounds on completely. And there's fitness people on my Instagram that have only put on like the tiniest bit of weight. They're nowhere near the size of me, and they're like 3 weeks behind me. So I know everyone's different, but so I'm not really bothered. I'm just eating what I want. I was being healthy with it. So a stone and 10 pounds I think it is, without checking. So hip pain and knee pain I've been feeling quite a lot. It just means that I need to stretch out more, and I've been like tossing and turning a little bit more. That's probably the only times I do wake up, because I have been peeing a lot more during the night. So that's kind of those things. Actually, more recently, so for the last 3 days, I've been feeling so many more kicks. Like, honestly, normally, because let's backtrack. The midwife said to me about keeping a kick count, and I was like, well, I don't know whether I want to, mainly because her routine, she doesn't have a routine. Like, midwife said I should sort of know when she's awake and asleep. I don't. She has a mind of her own. She does what she likes, and she doesn't really care about me. That sounds horrible. And I mean as in, she's just doing her own thing. So I'm only kind of catching little bits here and there. But the last 3 days, she's kicked me constantly. This is the quietest she's been since probably about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So from this morning she was kicking, and then she kind of was like here and there kicking, and then between half 11 and 1 constant. And I did a kick counter, and it was 10 kicks within a minute for that entire time. Like, I was constantly counting. It was amazing. And I haven't had 3 days in a row where she's been constant. I've been having a couple of days where she's been constant and then stopping. Well, not stopping, but as in like she's been a lot more calmer, so it's been a lot more lighter kicks. But this is my first time I've had 3 solid days. So if anyone's like worried about kicking in that, just kind of relax into it. As long as she is, or he is kicking at least, you know, a few times a day, I think that's not the end of the world. But obviously everyone's different, you know, and the midwives are so great on that side of things, and having that number that you can call is amazing. But personally for me, I just think because she was so all over the place in the beginning, I wasn't as worried. Whereas now I think I'm going to be a lot more conscious of when she's kicking and when she's not, just because she's been so vibrant over the last 3 days. So with the kicking as well, I've been super uncomfortable in certain places that she lays. The right hand side of my belly button and a little bit higher has been quite sore some days. I don't know what she does, but it's not like painful, it's just sore. Like if I'm sitting uncomfortably, or if like even like leaning down can be uncomfortable, just because the only way I can describe it is if someone's been poking you in the same position for a good 10 minutes, then you're going to feel it when you move. That's how I feel. And I don't necessarily get kicks there all the time, so I don't know what she's doing in there, but that is kind of uncomfortable. Not really too... Oh, she's awake now. Not too keen on that one. It also makes it kind of hard to get out of bed sometimes, or even getting off the sofa now. I'm struggling a lot more with that. Bless Ollie's been helping me like putting my shoes on and getting me up off the sofa sometimes, because it's a lot of weight, and especially if you've been like laying down for a long period of time like we're caught in a Netflix series at the moment, so we've been sat down quite a bit over this Christmas break, so going back to work is going to be a bit of a shock for me tomorrow. But it's kind of like if you've been doing that for a while, then your body's kind of shocked with having all that weight then hanging off you again. So it's kind of like taking care of yourself. I'm trying to not do as much now, especially being in third trimester. Just trying to look after myself a little bit more, because even when I'm ill, I'm not really the best person to do by direction, which I'm trying to be better at, and I think it will be a lot better by the time, you know, baby's here, because I'm being a lot more taking a back seat and, you know, letting Ollie help me and things like that. So obviously by the time that we give birth and we're in the actual scenario of pushing her out, Ollie always says to me I've got to listen to him, which I know I will, but instead of like taking like full control and trying to do it myself, I just need to sit back and just let everybody else and Ollie help me get through it, mainly because I don't like to seem weak, which is terrible, I know. Leading off that, I've noticed over the last few weeks and recently that my hormones have been skyrocketing. Me and Ollie have a very banter relationship, and we like to have a laugh all of the time. The day before yesterday, apparently that wasn't the case. I ended up just crying my eyes out because I thought he was being mean, when even when I was crying I knew he wasn't. So don't know about that one. I've been hearing that a lot of people have this sort of thing, so I think it's kind of baby brain and like hormones and all that jazz. But it's the first time I've ever gone, what am I doing? But you just kind of have to go with it and let it out, because I felt so much better after. I'm crying a lot more. I do cry a lot now, which is just not right. Well, it's right, of course it's right, but it's like not right for me. I'm not used to that. So that's definitely something else. The cravings of sweets and kind of chocolate has been continuing. Not so much over Christmas, but I think it's because it's more, I've got more available to me. Like I had a lot of chocolate and sweets from work, and everyone was really lovely there and gave me lots of that. So because it's been more available, I haven't wanted it as much. So I've had so much, I've just kind of gone, don't know if I want it as much anymore. Saying that, however, I put on my Instagram this morning that I'm addicted to chocolate. So I'm not too sure. It's kind of like peaks and troughs. I've been having my first struggles with constipation. And yes, I know that we all love the talk of poo, but that's an actual thing. I thought I kind of was missing all of that. No, that's now a firm thing. I don't know when you're meant to start feeling that sort of thing, but since hitting third trimester, that's definitely something that's kicked in. Not fun. I'll keep it short and brief, but if that's something that people are struggling with, I know everyone's obviously different, but grapes seem to be a great thing for me to help. It kind of gets things moving. It's not as uncomfortable for you, because obviously you've got a baby in you, so having that kind of uncomfortable as well is not going to be the best thing for you. Feelings wise, over the last few weeks, and more so recently, not so much since we got the furniture and the pram and the car seat, but I've been feeling a lot more anxious, a lot more nervous, realisation of how close we are to baby being here, and I think it's like, obviously I was all of those things anyway, but I've been more heightened about them just because I've been like, right, this is it now. We're now in January. April is literally on our doorsteps, so I need to start preparing, and that's what I was doing over the last couple of days. I started writing down lists of what I need to do, what I need to book, make sure, because there's like small things that I want to do. Like I want to have my eyelashes done before I go into labour, which is just something that I'd like to do. So there's things like that I need to book, and like ward tours I need to book, antenatal classes, which I haven't started yet, which I need to book. We've got our hypnobirthing classes starting this month. So in that kind of thing, is kind of like trying to bring myself back down to earth and like pinpoint where I need to be and what I need to be doing. Because the last appointment we had with the midwife, she was like, you're not behind, you just need to do it now. My next appointment is on the 11th of January, which is 10 days away. So I need to do that before I go there, because then I will feel like I've actually achieved something before I go back to my appointment. Quite nice to do, so that's kind of something else I do. I don't know whether, if anyone else is feeling like this way, if there's anything that you think will help, do it, definitely. Like sorting out her nursery, putting things away in her wardrobe has helped me mentally feel like we're preparing, and being able to put things away in drawers and stuff like that has completely and utterly helped me. And writing lists and stuff like that, talking to Ollie about stuff that we need to do, whatever helps you, just make sure that you're able to do that, because for the last 3 or 4 weeks all I've wanted to do was do the nursery, and it got very, very frustrating for me because I've got that nesting feeling already and I couldn't do it, which then obviously puts more strain on you. So if you are able to do anything to help that kind of nesting feeling or craving, or just something you really need to do, then do it. It will make the world of a difference. So the last kind of thing that I'm going to touch on before this lovely video comes to an end, is going back to kind of like the beauty side of things and how you're kind of feeling. I went through my first stages of feeling fat and a bowling ball. Even as I said it to Ollie, I said to him literally straight after, I know it's not true, and I know that I'm making this magnificent human being and I think it's magical and amazing, but I don't feel good within me. And that was hard to get to grips with and deal with, but then knowing that it wasn't me, it was just the hormones at the same time. It's so hard to explain, because it's like you're split in the side of knowing that you are feeling this way, but then also knowing that you're not like that. You're just thinking that because you are pregnant, and it's really hard to explain, because everyone's like, oh, your hair should be lovely, your nails should be lovely, and things like that. My nails have all broken off for some odd strange reason. They have not been growing well at all since probably about 14-15 weeks through to now. They just keep breaking as my normal nails would. My hair's been a lot better, so it's like one thing fails for another one to be good, because I had good nails, bad hair, and now I've got good hair, bad nails. I don't know. But I think the biggest thing for why this all happened, with going back to the fact that I thought I was a bowling ball, I don't know, is I'm not used to having big boobs at all. I had tiny boobs. Before I got pregnant, I was like a 34C, which I'd probably been the same for a while. So then to jump up to whatever I am now, because I haven't actually measured myself, I'm definitely over a D now though, so I'm probably heading into I'm definitely over a D now, so I'm probably heading into an E. Because they're so big, and obviously my belly was growing, and obviously other parts of me are expanding, it wasn't something that I could comprehend all at once. And the biggest thing was that it was the Christmas parties season, everyone was trying to break in the room, and that's where I realised that I didn't look the same as what I have done before, which is silly, and I know it's silly, but even saying it now makes me laugh. And it's just nice to be able to talk about it and be like, you know what, it's okay. If you feel like a bowling ball, you feel like a bowling ball. That doesn't matter. Like, just, you know, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better, then just do it. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, so I really hope that this video has kind of like updated you all on how I'm feeling and how I'm getting on in week 26. But then also I really hope that if there's anything that I've covered that kind of helps you guys, I'd be really glad that kind of my experiences have helped you too. If there's anything else that you want to ask me, please feel free to comment below, or tweet me or anything like that. I'd be more than happy to chat through it with you, or even Instagram too. If there's anything else that we can expand on in other videos, I'd be more than happy to do that as well, because I'm sure that this is all going to kind of, I don't know, expand more over the next few weeks. I'm not entirely sure. Like, third trimester, this is it now. we have got a few months left, and it's not even that long until I leave for work now, if I think about it in so many ways. New year, she's actually been born this year, 2019. She's born this year, so it's all very, very exciting. Anyway, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys all next time, and if you've got any queries in the meantime, you know where I am. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!